Let me begin with saying that the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe mailed this order to my neighbor, but on the envelope, it was addressed to me. So I have to say, who the fuck is this? Huh? The honorable one sent someone else order of protection to my neighbor, but intended for me. Now peep this. Now this just go back to Miss Havisham comparison to court attorney Bonnie Gershon, aka Drunk Bonnie. My point is, if I just prove that what they, as far as what I mean when I say they, this website just said about the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe sending orders to the wrong address, then we can believe that what they said about court attorney Bonnie Gershon, aka Drunk Bonnie comparison to Miss Havisham, is correct. And it's sad because these people with these vices like that and these mental disorders are in control or dictating many people's lives. You know, but while we at it, let's take a look at the signature on this wrong order that the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe sent to my neighbor, but addressed to me. Now let's match it up with the final order. You understand? Everything here is that is being said is truth. All right? And I don't know if it's going to be in part 2 or 3 or 4. I'm going to break down the defenses and the just overlooking of this serious crime of this forged signature. Anyway, let me finish, go back and read it. It says, he sends orders to wrong addresses. Facts. He sends orders to wrong addresses or just neglects to send them out. The orders he sent out are often ambiguous or misspelled. He neglects to set trial dates for years, and when he does, he stretches trials out over many months in violation of court rules and judicial canon that a trial must complete within 90 days of its start. He also loses documents that have been submitted to the court under subpoena, especially when such documents do not support one of his arbitrary temporary orders of visitation. According to two sources, a retired family court judge and a family attorney close to his former partner, Kusakabe is a fanatical Christian who gives 10% of his income to the church. Let me stop right there. Because if anybody know anything about the Bible, and if you look past all the catchy scriptures that get hallelujah and amens in church, and when you read the Bible, things are revealed to you. And one of the things that was revealed to me is this last sentence. It says that he's a fanatical Christian who gives 10% of his income to the church. Fanatical. The church folks, the fanatical church folks, the ones that knew religion, the ones that knew the word of the Bible, the ones that know the scripture and can recite it to tell you that you're not living right, are the ones who set up Jesus Christ to be murdered. These are the modern day Pharisees. These same ones, like the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe, are the ones pushing people away with hate disguised as love. Anyway, let me finish reading. But his conduct more closely resembles, the sadistic 17th century persecutors of Christians in the Japan portrayed in Martin Scorsese's Silence. The New York taxpayer rewards Kusakabe with a whopping salary of $181,448, including benefits and bonuses like bribes or pay rise he is seeking for 2017. So he got a raise this year to fuck people's lives up. But watch this last sentence. Last year, 2015, I think, or 2016, one of them, I don't know. Last year, Mayor de Blasio extended his tenure without any election or public hearing until 2025. So this dude have 8 more years to ruin people's lives. Mayor de Blasio, are you showing that you are down for this bullshit? Is this why you fought so hard for pre-K for all? Is that about pimping kids and shit for government funding? I would love to be wherever he is speaking at so I can ask him, why did he extend this criminal's tenure? Is it because by the mayor's knowledge, the mayor's de Blasio's knowledge, the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe is doing great work as a judge? Or is it because the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe is a great soldier in this corrupt system? It's funny because I was on the train one day, right? Recently, thinking about, why would Mayor de Blasio extend the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe as a judge without any valid reason? As I was walking through the Barclays Center subway, I noticed this at a newsstand. Look at this shit. Look. This is October 30th, 2017 cover page. If you zoom in, you can see that it's dated October 30th, 2017. I mean, it's kind of blurry, but I brought the actual newspaper and here it is. See? It's October 30th, 2017. And I don't even buy the newspaper, but I brought this and I read the whole article. And it's crazy, but I'm not going to get all into that because I'm not knocking your hustle. But the question is, Mayor de Blasio, did you extend the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe tenure because he's about destroying families, or you did this because you did not know? Either way, it's horrific. If you knew, then you're admitting that you are a part of this system and not the people who you entrusted in you. Or you was just negligent and reckless in your position of power. Mayor de Blasio, can you give me one good reason why you extended the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe's tenure? Do you know that he enforces forged court documents? Numbers do lie. All of these cases that he closed isn't cases that he closed. Are you going to protect him, or are you going to protect the system? So I'm just asking. Now, I understand the game. With that being said, there are big businesses in New York City, in New York State, that this system can strong arm money from. Why pick on families? Why? And a lot of these families are tight knit. You have so much money. The subway fare, the transportation fare, the public transportation fare constantly keep going up.
the city could use some of this money to pay for counseling to keep families together. Or nah, I'm just asking. But this one, why do y'all pick on a little guy? Mayor de Blasio, why did the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe, who you know nothing about, make a court order for me, who he do not know anything about? He made a court order that denies me from being a father. Did you know that the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe is ranked the 4th worst judge in the state of New York from a survey made by other judges and lawyers? Answer me this, Mayor de Blasio. Why is it that I have the right to vote, but I do not have the right to be a father to my child? Shout out to LeVar Ball.
Sir, your name?
I am an organic living being and soul.
Your name, sir?
I just told you. That's what we're getting.
May I have your name?
Sheesh, John.
Your relationship to the child?
Mother.
Thank you. Sir.
Objection. You need to recuse yourself today, and before you recuse yourself, you need to meet my demands.
I'm sorry?
You need to recuse yourself today, and before you recuse yourself, you need to meet my demands.
I need to, I'm sorry, I need to meet your command.
Meet my demands.
The application to recuse myself is denied at this time.
You can't go on with this case no longer. You denied me my rights for over a year and a half, and then for the past 6 months, you enforced a court document that where someone forged your signature. You defraud the court.
Okay, so Mr.
Objection. We can't go no further with this case.
You don't have the right to object.
Yes, I do. You defrauded the court. No one that commits a crime is allowed to preside over a matter in a court of law.
Mr. Spain, so let me first address do you want to be called Mr. Spain, or I didn't catch how you wanted
Objection. We cannot go on with this case.
Mr. Spain, please listen. First, let me just make sure that I'm addressing you properly.
No objection. You allowed a fraudulent court document to be enforced for over 6 months.
Okay, so Mr. Spain will address that in a moment.
No objection. Someone forged your signature on the court document, which you allowed to be enforced. We cannot go no further with this case until you recuse yourself.
Okay, so Mr. Spain, so let me just address Mr. Spain. Would you like to be called Mr. Spain if you want to?
Objection. You need to recuse yourself. I have sworn statements from not one, not two, but 3 handwriting analysts who are court qualified, who all in sworn statements stated that the document is a forged document. We cannot go any further with this case at all until you recuse yourself and meet my demands.
So Mr. Spain, you have no authority to make demands to the court.
You have no authority. Objection. I have the right. No, listen.
Spain, I'm giving you an opportunity to address the court. We're not going to keep addressing these, your authority or what you perceive as your authority to make demands on this court.
We cannot go no further with this case, and I have the right to speak my right.
You have the right to speak.
Right, and yelling at me is a sign of intimidation. You cannot stop me from speaking my... That's not a problem. That's not a problem at all.
Okay, sir, please step up.
That's not a problem at all.
When a final order is made, the judge put inside the order the reason why he ruled that way, according to the law. Let's take a look at a random order. Let's use Eves M versus Mildred C. I'm gonna scroll down. Look, this paragraph is titled procedural history and finding of facts. This is about the history of the case and steps taken that led up to the case and to the decision. Same as finding of facts, which is self-explanatory. Let me finish drilling down further. Stroll down right here to where it says conclusions with an S of law. I'm not going to read anything from here. Wait, hold up a minute. Look at this man, de Blasio. I'm going to read right here. First of all, when you see things like SBOC versus SBOC, when you see things that says C SBOC versus SBOC, this is what is called common law or case law, which are things that is said in a case that influence the decision, without using statutes or the Constitution. But I'm going to read this one right here. I'm going to highlight it. It says, in determining the best interest of the child, the court must consider the totality of the circumstances presented. Alvarez versus Alvarez. Second department in this area, Look, it says second department too, Second department in this area that the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe said is the highest court in this area. But he didn't even oblige to the court that he referred me to. Okay, let me get to my point though. Stroll down a little further. It's a lot of stuff in this order. Right here. I'm not going to read it, but it explains why this judge ruled and ordered the way that they did in this case. So this is my order. And as you see, the pages are numbered. This is no okie doke. This is no magic trick. This is the actual order which the Honorable Dean Kusakabe ruled on. So as you see, there is nothing in here that is stating why he made a decision. So tell me, where can I find any reason that the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe put in this order where he gave my daughter mother sole custody of my daughter? No conclusions of law, no finding of facts, nothing. Do you remember when the Honorable Dean Kusakabe said this?
This point. But if it comes to a point where the request is formally made and you choose not to comply with the request of the court to disclose that information, then the court may use that against you. Okay? At that point, then your request for custody and all these different issues becomes seen in that light, and you just have to keep that in mind. Okay? At that point, then your request for custody and all these different issues becomes seen in that light, and you just have to keep that in mind. And all these different issues becomes seen in that light, and you just have to keep that in mind. And all these different issues becomes seen in that light, and you just have to keep that in mind.
So it is fair to say that because the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe did not put in this order why, according to the law or the conclusions of law pertaining to this case, we can say that the Honorable Dean Kusakabe, according to his own words, gave my daughter mother, gave sole custody of my daughter mother because I'm disabled, and refused to surrender my Fourth Amendment rights of privacy. If I said to you, I should put a fucking bullet in your head, and somewhere down the line, you are found with a bullet in your head, guess who the police are coming to get? So the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe made this decision and order based off discrimination and the fact that I stand behind my rights. If this isn't so, Mayor de Blasio, then what is the basis of your boy Dean Kusakabe giving my daughter mother sole custody?
This is a vicious weapon to use against this corrupt system. I am making a video of my walk in court, step by step, and what I've learned, so you can do it differently if you are caught up in this trap also. You know, I'm going to show everything from when I filed my first paperwork to the clerk putting the wrong date of birth of my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm peeping that. I'm going back to the court, and they like, no, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. You know, from me filing paperwork that I could have filed, you know, and how what I know now would not have let it extend to almost 3 years, and it would have been no longer than probably 6 months to a year, and that's a fact. But in Article 78 is 3 writs. Google writ, W-R-I-T. It's powerful. But Article 78 is a writ of certiorari, which means it tells the higher court to review the case in question from the lower court. A writ of mandamus, which is telling the higher court to force the lower court to do what they are supposed to do according to the law. And a writ of prohibition, which is telling the higher court to stop the order that the lower court has made. Of course, you will have to give them reasons according to the law. They're not just going to do it because they're like, look, they need to do this. You have to present your case. You know, you have to present your case to the higher court to prove that, you know, even a corporation, you ain't got to be the lower court. It could be a government agency, it could be another party. But you can force the opposition by a writ of mandamus with these 3 writs to, you know, do what's right, and they can stop that order completely, and they will review it. You understand? So, but the thing about it is, like Rick W. always say, you have to box them in. Once you got them boxed in and you hit them with this, there's nothing that they can really say. My Article 78 is just asking the higher court to make the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe to provide a valid court order and establish jurisdiction. See, the thing about it is, this whole case is just so crazy. I'm not even asking the higher court anything about what you heard on this video. Anything. I'm going with the law. Before you can go to college, you have to go to elementary school. Then you have to go to middle school or junior high school or intermediate school. And then you go to high school. And then you go to college. Yeah, let me scroll down to just one thing that look, right here, void orders. Issuing void orders, everything. I'm going to go down to the writ of mandamus, and this is just one thing that I ask that they should easily be able to do, right? This is a writ of mandamus to compel judicial actors in lower court Dean T. Kusakabe, a judge of Kings County Family Court, Bonnie Gershon, Drunk Bonnie, court attorney for family court, to comply with substantive rights and due process rights in the U.S. Constitution Bill of Rights. Right? Remember, he said none of that is, there's no law stating that. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. We get into due process and the procedure that he took to make that final order. Right? So now we're going to go down to, I think it's number 8. Number 8. Right here. Right? Number 8. Writ of mandamus to compel is required because the respondent refused to provide proof of a valid court order between November 1st, 2016 and November 1st, 2017. So this is the part right here. This makes it very easy for the lower court. In 1 year time, even though we've been going to court since June 25th, 2015, I'm asking for one. I say if it goes right here, it says a valid court order between November 1st, 2016 and November 1st, 2017. Just one. And by doing so, they have to prove that they took the necessary channels in making the temporary court orders. So I need just one. And it's hard because, one, they can't do it because they didn't follow due process. 2, is because they are forged orders. So, like I said, stay tuned because once I get the order from the Supreme Court, I am going to let y'all know.
Mayor de Blasio, there has never been anyone on this earth that has ever loved me, that has ever showed me attention the way that my daughter does. Mayor de Blasio, the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe is your boy. You vouch for his stupid ass. So Mayor de Blasio, you have to fix this. You have to fix what you blindly, and I use the word blindly because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But you blindly gave this incompetent man power to destroy lives and the faith in the justice system. How can we trust you, Mayor de Blasio? Greed. Greed destroys empires. If it ain't greed, then explain the Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe actions. Explain his actions, Mayor de Blasio. The Honorable Dean T. Kusakabe is the 4th worst judge in New York State. Did you know that? What is it that you know personally, Mayor de Blasio, that made you extend this man 10 years? Without having a hearing, without evaluating or reevaluating him, even without an election. Only the Lord knows how the other judges that you extended their tenure are conducting business. I don't want to talk. Please, just fix it, or you have a lot of explaining to do. Mayor de Blasio, I don't care who you are. I don't care about your position, and I don't mean any disrespect by saying this. But your actions are standing in the way of my happiness. Fix this, please. I'm really trying to be a gentleman about this. Ladies, please, if you're not about that life, stop presenting yourself in that light. That light that I speak of is dressing and presenting yourself to be of a super sexual nature first before anything else. You know, first and foremost, dressing provocative and shit everywhere and for everything that you do. You know, like promoting sex. There are men in this world that take notice and believe that this is what you are about. Men that take pride in pleasing women sexually on the level of a porn star. Only to later find out that they were deceived because the provocative outfits are just a facade and an attention-seeking trap. When you receive the attention that you display that you are about, but actually are not, feelings evolve. That you surrender to because our admiration for your deception causes you to become super toxic. My point is, if you're not a porn star or have sex on that level, and I mean mentally built for that, you know, mentally built for the morning after, stop dressing like you are about that life. Stop flirting like you are. Stop posting pictures on social media like you are. It's very misleading. Let me add, I am not saying that this have anything to do with my personal situation. I'm just saying though, men, fellas, stop trying to have sex with every damn body. It's more than sex to a lot of women. War starts when feelings are involved. Like Big Worm said to Smokey, you see, it's the principle of the whole thing. There's principalities in this. When you find out, it's too late. That sexual urge and admiration that we give females, to them, we are closing the deal. And just like that, you're in a relationship, whether you know it or not.
Thought it wasn't no better feeling than making my songs. Turns out it was the day my little baby was born. Lil Robert Payne Jr., nothing breaking our bond. Hit that like button if you can relate to my songs. Now let me tell you about him. I love my little boy to death. I raised hell about him. My little boy deserved the best. I never yell around him. My little boy don't need to stress. Baby mother get on my nerves. Other brothers, they would've left, but I'm still here. I might act like I don't, but I still care. Having babies without a wife, that's my real fear. But you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I fell in fake love and cried real tears. Never figured in my wildest thoughts she would go behind my back to get that child support. Damn, guess I was wrong. It's evident as hell. Got my heart broken when I got that letter in the mail. Court date getting closer, 3 days left. Caseworker said I get that free DNA test. I say fuck it, do it just for the fun. And I found out shorty wasn't my son. This can't be life. Pain.
Selfish. That's what they said, they're all selfish. They do whatever to get what they want, makes them happy. They don't think about others' happiness. And everything that they do, they feel they're justified. They don't ever accept fault. That's what my dad said. Said in his letter, he goes home and sleeps at night knowing that he did his best.
Moving right along to today, right? I'm sitting up there and I'm scrolling down my line on Facebook. And what do I see? I see a female talking about, because she's pissed off, you're not going to see my son no more. Not only you're not going to see my son, but I'm going to find him a new daddy that's going to love me and you. I mean, me and him, and you're dead to your son. What part of the game is that? Mind you, this female cheated on her boyfriend the whole relationship. But the minute that he decided that game over and he's moving on, he's opting out of the game. Now he can't be a father and you're going to replace him. Some serious shit. And females like you are the reason why our community is so fucked up. Why our young boys, our young males is growing up with so much fucking anger. I had a stepfather growing up. I don't give a fuck how many Nintendos he bought, how many great adventures he took me to. He was not my father. And all I wanted was my fucking father. Like every other little boy. So many little boys that I know cry because they don't have their dad. And sometimes when I see these little boys, I go in the background and it makes me cry to see a female. How you tell your son, and this is not my son, this is my nephew's son, how you tell your son that you're going to replace his father and he got a good dad. I wish the hell my pops would have been in my life that way. I wish. Y'all bitches is bugged out. How do you tell a little boy that you're going to replace his father? I still know what it feels like to be that little boy sitting in the closet wondering where the fuck my father was. Meanwhile, your son got a father. And because you can't get over the pussy and dick games that you playing, you gonna turn around and tell that little boy that he can't have a father in his life? And then she had the audacity to sit up there and say that you're gonna make a video, or you made a video with your son in the video saying he don't want to be a part of his father no more neither. Mind you, if you see this little boy and his father together, it looks like something special. But it takes a sick, twisted, evil bitch to sit up there and divide a father and a son just because you can't take the fact that life goes on. You the reason why our community and bitches like you and your mother and those bitches on your post that egged you on is the reason why our community is so fucked up. Fathers don't come a dime a dozen. Fathers are hard to find. And that little boy had a hell of a father to him. And because you pissed off, you gonna mentally fuck him up. He's already an angry little boy because you so angry. And his father's so angry because he keeps fighting with you. So what's the best thing to do? To separate. But instead of letting that man go about his business, you got to deal with domestic violence. You got to deal with courts. And now you're not going to be a father. So when men walk away and they step away from the children because they can't deal with this no more, they're a piece of shit. But the flip side to it is you turn the kid into an enemy or you put the father in jail. Some of y'all females need a reality check. I know what it's like to look for my son in the same city and not see him for a whole year straight. So now they becoming a casualty of your war, your personal agenda, because you can't get over the fact that life goes on without that dick. Some of y'all females don't give a fuck, but for the ones that is listening, that is going to watch this video, I want you to understand something. The damage that you do when y'all play these games with these children, you can't turn back time. I am a product of that. My father was not around. Ben peeked out that weakness and he had a Fields day. Y'all need to stop playing games, man.
Think about an artist painting a picture. Now, you know that once you imagine an artist painting a picture, you know that he has to see that image inside of his head. He has to feel it inside of his heart. Now, let me show you the correlation between painting and parenting. Now, if you think about it, every single day you show your child an image. Whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, and frustration, you're showing your child that. So when you look at me and you see confidence, you see motivation, you see empowerment, that's my father. He put since I'm 12 years old, he put 12 years of confidence, amazing energy and motivation inside of me. So now I'm confident, I'm strong. So when you see your child and your child walks around angry or frustrated, that's because you're showing your child those images. So let me ask you this. What image are you painting for your child? And yes, you could show your child happiness, encouragement, and they could change from outside influences, but you're supposed to have the biggest impact.
The chain is as strong as the weakest link. It's time for us to start, for one, stop being cowards. Stop picking and choosing what battles you want to fight. Because that's another thing too. You're picking and choosing what battles you want to fight. I'm sitting back watching these dudes argue over the stupidest shit. You ready to fight and insult each other over the stupidest shit, but nobody wants to go out and face our youth.
Hey, when you get to court, keep that same energy. If you crazy, when you get to court, better stay crazy. You got what I'm saying? Like, if you a street dude and you know what I'm saying, you be like, yo, I knock niggas out, etc., etc. You get to court, niggas is fainting, falling out. You know, niggas be big mouths in the street. Get to court, lost for words. You know, because when you're doing it to each other, you got it down pat. But you get to that foreign bank, sitting in that court, you got to keep that same energy. You got to keep that same energy. So you a shit talker or whatever the case is. When you get to that court, keep that same energy.
Let's talk about doing this shit. You
know what I mean? And a lot of times, it's more important to start than to just overly plan. Because there's no way you could plan all the way through.
Right. Well, you can get stuck at different levels.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And
you get stuck, like I said, this world is manifest from your thoughts. But you could get stuck at that knowledge degree to where all you're doing is thinking. Now you got to take it to the next degree, which is wisdom, meaning the act of manifesting your knowledge, the act of doing. You know what I mean? And so now you get to 3, which is the understanding, which is the materialization of your knowledge and your actions. You see, it's the result, the sum of knowledge and action. You know, that's what understanding is.
Get your clothes and get right in here. You know me, GBC. Brooklyn, I know how we do it.
On my way to Philly, ball. Shout out my Philly Jones.
I'm in my fucking bag.
Straight like that. Niggas drawing. Got time for that.
My fucking bag.
Pull up on the ball. One time. Philly Jones.
Hey, you already know Santana, my BK boys pulled up on me. GBC got me right fresh. Pull up on it, they got that heat. I told y'all before.
One goddamn minute. GBC start-ish, GBC gon' finish. Diamonds on my wrist glisten. GBC feel tremendous. You already know, man. Come shop at GBC. They keep me fly. Pull up, don't play no game.